Everyone, welcome back to episode 7. Unknown POV. The flicker almost broke my arm. Who did? The man sitting at the computer desk asked after putting out the smoke from his cigarette. Some stupid Omega trying to act all tough on me. The Hurt Alpha, holding his arm, walked into the dimly lit room and clicked something random out of frustration. Let it go, man. We have other things on our mind right now. We have to get rid of that Jian once he is gone. We can ship out the big supplies of his holding everything up. His knee was on the man's face as he was controlling through something on the computer when suddenly an evil grin appeared on his face. Bingo, this is it. Been looking for some connection because he is frequently seen here in the city. Found himself a pretty Omega look, the man said with an evil smile and angled the screen to the shopping man on the couch. He looked up to see and his eyes between him. That's that stupid Omega who tried to break my arm. He pointed at the screen and stood up. The man by the computer turned to the other and grinning. Well, lucky you then. Time to get revenge. This is Xian's lover boy. I just located him. Wait till the boss hears you have got his weakness. We have got his weakness. Once we have him, we have Jian, his small grey figure, and I just know where to find him. Breathing it slowly and aiming, Jungkook put his fingers on his trigger, and with his exhale breath, he pulled bullseye. He looked up and watched the little hole in the dummy's head. He already felt relaxed here, just shooting his anger away. Instead of reacting it off on his, he aimed again and shot another few times before he heard Namjoon behind him. Boss, we have a situation. Well, yeah, they had a few situations. He was back in the city where his loved one lived, and he was trying to find out who wanted to take him out. All clues led him here. He knew that they were after him because he was trying to stop a very big deal from happening. He wasn't all that bad. He was only bad when he wanted to and he needed to, but this was too much. Because he was the only one who could be behind all this. Bong was a sneaky. Jungkook thought Bong was on the wrong end of the Mafia side, and he would only get in much more trouble if he kept this up. Jungkook grinned his teeth as he walked back, and Namjoon led him the way in his car. He needed to go back to the apartment they rented to call in a few of his men. He had to find Bong quickly. He knew he was holding himself up somewhere here in the city, so he was close up. By now they just have to find a way to get him. He was in the car when his phone pinged. Jungkook always felt his heartbeat quicken as the certain ping. He was the one who had installed when Taehyung. He just wanted him in his arms again, feel the soft skin again, and see the cheeks flush when Jungkook would kiss him. They were still very early on in something like a relationship, but they wanted to get to know each other first before really becoming a pair. They started off wrong, so now Jungkook wanted to do it the right way. He quickly texted back that he had time to come over tomorrow and added a heart to it just to tease Taehyung. He smiled, thinking about how he would blush furiously now. Taehyung could brighten his day in the darkest of times. He was the light shining on the dark ship. He knew he still had to explain what he actually was, but he was just scared Taehyung would leave him. He couldn't handle. He needed a little more time, boss. We are back, Namjoon said as he pulled up underground garage of the apartment complex. It was hidden enough for them so they could get inside unnoticed. They needed it now that they were so close to getting bonked to be discovered. He got out with Namjoon right behind him and asked him to get his other commanders together in the living room. When they all gathered, Jungkook got informed about the situation. It gave him a throbbing headache as it was really getting dirty. Bong played dirty. Jungkook had to be quick or he would kill more of his men. He would have to interrogate the men they were able to catch soon. They knew there where the boss was hidden. He missed them so much. Of course, they called and FaceTime every day, but he just wanted to feel his touch again. His alpha needed to touch him again. He was yearning to be close with him, and Jungkook didn't think any differently. Taehyung was just smitten with him. Taehyung was almost running home. He was just done with his part-time job and he had planned to meet Jungkook tonight. To be honest, he was pretty nervous and still not sure how he was going to bring the news. How was Jungkook going to take it? He hadn't slept all night, tossing and turning and imagining every single way of conversation could go. He should have, because it only gave him more anxiety and he definitely couldn't sleep anymore from it. He hoped it would all just. First, he needed to shower. He had been out all day and he has his part-time job right after classes. He grabbed fresh clothes and towel before hopping into the shower, humming a song that's been on his mind all day. As the water was warming up, he took his clothes off and put them into the hammer. He looked down at the little bump that was prominent on his lower belly now and caressed it slowly. He smiled softly every time he thought about the little being growing inside him. How could Jungkook not love this when he was already full of love for this little being himself? He gusted his fingertips over the skin once more before he got into the little shower, scrubbing himself from head to toe, washing quickly washed hair and got out of the shower. He looked at the watch he had put on his sink he saw he still had half an hour before Jungkook would arrive. He dried his hair and pulled on his boxers and shirt. He quickly had brought new pants before all his other ones didn't fit anymore. To the bedroom and pulled his new soft-looking black on. They hid his stomach well and he looked very good in them. If he said to himself they were a little more stretchy, so he didn't have to worry and ripping them in future if he would get even thicker. That worried him more. His hips would getting bigger. His Taehyung started to get nervous again as he felt his hands tremble. He grabbed up as he was drying his hair, walking back into the kitchen to grab a glass of water for his nose. He was just thinking, taking a sip, and doorbell rang. Taehyung looked at the clock. Was Jungkook early? He still had almost 15 minutes to spare. Got things the was done showering already, and he walked to the front door. As he pulled the front door open with a smile, two scary-looking men appeared before him. They had weird-looking grin on their faces. "Can I help you?" Taehyung tried to ask confidently, trying not to be. "You certainly can." A mega voice from around corner came. Taehyung blurred and cold. Sick how had he found him? I think you have the wrong person, Taehyung quickly said and tried to close the door. Before he could, it was pushed open by the three men, and Taehyung's stomach back from the impact. The man grinned and walked inside as Taehyung slowly walked backward. I think we can solve this matter way. Another way Taehyung tried, and the man only laughed. It seemed never thought he would fall for this, though. He certainly didn't look like an Omega. Taehyung got confused. They weren't here because he had beaten up that man. Who were they talking about? Who do you want? What do you want? Taehyung swelled hard. His heartbeat quickened in fear. The cold sweat coated his back as the man stepped closer to him. He was still looking backward, walking backward, but the apartment wasn't big and there was no way out. "Well, what we want is Jian, and the closest way to get him if we have you, so," one of the men said as he grinned, showing very bad and chipped teeth. Jian, wasn't that Jungkook's name? What did they want from him, and why did they need him? Taehyung was panicking and trying to find a way to escape. He needed to run away quickly. This wasn't good at all, and he was also confused about what they wanted from him. Grab him. One crawled as they longed to wash forward as Taehyung tried to slip past them. He was grabbed by his hair and his arm was pulled back. Taehyung screamed from the pain from his scalp. He thrashed around trying to escape. Grip three men simply. No simple man could be strong enough to get three men off of them. He kicked his feet around into the man's leg. He just couldn't pull loose. Tears gathered in his eyes as they pulled his hand behind his back and restricted them up. He was tossing around, knocking his chairs and lamps over. He tried anything to get out of the grip. Something was pulling over his eyes and everything went black. What do you need with me? What do you need with Jungkook? He didn't do anything wrong. Don't hurt him. You think he didn't do anything wrong? Your dearest Yan is a mafia boss, or didn't you know that? One man said close to his ear, and he laughed when Taehyung stilled in his grip. What, Jungkook? But before he could say anything, he felt something hard, painful on his head, and everything went black. His Jungkook, a mafia boss? It couldn't be. It felt different. Jungkook walked up to Taehyung's front door, but very overpowering. A smell was permanent corridor. He was just on time, and it felt as if someone had already been before him. He walked up to the door to ring at the bell, but saw that the door was already ajar. Maybe Taehyung was waiting for him inside, and he had nothing to worry about. He had him guarded 24/7. So what was there to happen? He just He was just a little paranoid from all the things happening. At the moment, he slowly opened the door and walked in. Taehyung, I'm here, Jungkook said, and the alcohol smell was even more prominent here. He scrunched his nose from the smell. This time, Jungkook started to get worried. He grabbed his weapon from his. The chair was turned over as if there has been a fight and everything was trashed. Jungkook quickly walked to the bedroom and bathroom, but thing was nowhere to be found. What had happened here? Everything was silent as Jungkook stood in the ruined living room. He pulled his weapon back and gripped his hair. They had him. One thing he wanted to protect was gone. Jungkook's eyes darted around for any kind of clue of who and where they could have taken him. He scanned around and searched everywhere. Nothing. Jungkook was furious by now and he grabbed his phone and called the guards to had put to protect him. Nothing. Why was he so foolish to think Taehyung would be safe? He knew how Pong could be and what do anything to get his plan. He was breathing hard, trying to. He was mad. That man was going to pay so bad. Don't ever touch what's mine. He ran out of the dark and ruined apartment and college man. He needed to know where Bong was holding up now. He got Namjoon to pick him up and made his way to the abandoned warehouse on the other outskirts of the town. This is where they had a capture man. They were going to pay for this and wouldn't stop until they got answer. He slammed the door of the car and they arrived and stepped into the big abandoned building, taking his jacket off. In the process, he buttoned up his sleeve and pushed back his hair. Give me the first one, Jungkook yelled. The tension in the room was big and Jungkook was furious. He was led to a sleeping man. Before he could say anything, he was pushed up against the wall by his thought. A strange cry came from the man as Jungkook pushed the man even harder into the wall. Where is Bong? Jungkook spat out and he bare his teeth, letting his dominating alpha accent fill the room. The beater was trembling underneath him, but he kept his mouth shut. Jungkook smiled heavily. Not talking? Well, tie him up. Jungkook yelled and let the man fall to the floor and walk away. The man. Jungkook looked back one last time, grinned. The man was bleeding now and knew what was coming now. He was trembling on the dirty floor. Started up and pulled into the open space. Jungkook was waiting already. The man was restricted to the hook. And we can do this the easy way or the hard way, Jungkook said as he watched the man cry in pain. Jungkook didn't even have the time to be torturing this man. The only thing he wanted was to get them back out. He knew he needed the information. He had sent his men out to search the area around. The meantime, he got what he needed from this man. Where is he holding up? Jungkook tried this time in the more patient voice. Everyone knew he was nothing near the patience, and the man bitter spoke up now. Jungkook would go. The man wasn't that smart. If it was for Jungkook or for Bong, he wasn't sure. But one thing he didn't make him happy. Come on, Jungkook whispered between teeth, talk. The man coughed and screamed as he felt his rib crack. Now Jungkook kept on kicking and man floored everything decorated his body, and the man was half unconscious. Silence covered the dimly lit room, and Jungkook waited for silence. He was breathing hard, and his hand was covered with cuts, and a very weak voice came from the man as he tried to speak with all the energy he had left. He is at the bunker near the train station outside the city. Please kill me now. Jungkook said, "We are going now," was the only thing he said as he left the man hanging on the wall and ordered his men to clean up the mess. He quickly drove off to the place the man had told him and just now he needed to get his thing fast. Soft splashing of water woke Taehyung up out of his unconscious state. He groaned as he opened his eyes, but everything was dark, his head throbbing, and when he tried to move, he discovered his hand was rested behind his back and was sitting on a chair. Where was he? With much pain, he tried to look around. Once his eyes adjusted to the darkness, he scanned the room. No daylight was coming from anywhere, and there was no window. The walls were bare, and the floor was wet and dirty. He almost from the awful smell of the room and tried to breathe as slowly as possible. Panic was inside him as he remembered what happened. He pulled struggled to get them free, but the only made his arm hurt more. When the rope was cutting his wrist, he groaned and tried to think. His mind was reeling, and the vision started to blur. What had he gotten onto? How was he getting out of this? The silence made it even more unbearable, and he heard the splashing of water in the corner of the room dripping from the ceiling. Nothing else could be heard, and Taehyung was alone with his thoughts that were screaming at him. He remembered how Taehyung had taken him away from, but he was unconscious before he knew where he took him. One thing was still very clear in his mind: what the man had said had shaken him to the core. He was here, stood up because of Jungkook. JK was the reason Tae was. If Jungkook had told him Taehyung wasn't sure about anything right now, the fact that Jungkook was a mafia boss made him severe. It scared him, but would he have reacted the same if he had told him before? He wasn't sure. How could one possibly be okay with their boyfriend was a bad guy? And the fact that he was pregnant with his baby was now an even worse idea. How was he going to protect the kid when he was already being held hostage by the people who were after Jungkook, and he wasn't even his boyfriend yet? Taehyung was breathing hard, but now, and he was trying to get out of his when suddenly the door was slammed open, and the same three men walked into the room, and a soft light shone from the other side of the door. It started Taehyung, and he tensed up. What did they want from him? To be continued. So everyone, what do you think? What is gonna happen to Taehyung? And is Jungkook gonna save him on time or not? Or what is gonna be their relationship in future? We will get to know all these answers in future episode. Hope you will enjoy it. See you again. Bye bye. Love you. Bye.